Hello everybody, my name is Perri and I'm sitting here with Karen today. We've just come off the back of a Brave Collective event, an initiative that really wouldn't have gone ahead if it weren't for the amazing support of the amazing ladies at Liberty and the Drive Hope Squad. So the Brave Collective, for those of you who don't know, is a community led and fueled by women from all walks of life. And I feel privileged to sit here today with the Drive Hope Squad just to get, I think, a little bit into the meat of how you guys started, why you started, how it's going. You guys have just kind of, I think, silently been doing these small acts. You've been changing lives and you've been doing it with so much grace that to shine a light on it, I think, is a privilege. So thank you, Karen. There was a first case and his name was Jeremy, and you were touched by his story and that kind of got the spark going. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So thanks so much for having me. It's wonderful to be here. So it was actually a few years ago, and the Jeremy was Jeremy Mansfield.
Okay.
God rest his soul. And he every year did this Christmas wish.
Oh, I remember it.
The Christmas wish, like, they got you in your gut and in your feels. And I remember driving to work, and it was like I would cry the whole way. So I still don't wear mascara for that pure fact, because I looked like a raccoon when I got there. But what really struck me about that is it actually just started at Liberty. And at Liberty, our core and our essence is about humanity, and the fact that we do good things, and we try to help people's financial freedom. And, you know, we're there with you in your darkest times and in your highest highs and your lowest lows. And so Jeremy every year had started this initiative called the Christmas Wish. And I was like, flip, there's got to be another way to do this. It can't just be about December. And at that point, he'd had so many big sponsors behind him that he was able to help people that really had huge pressing needs. And we're talking about like buckets of money.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was initiatives that would cost anyone, you know, anything from 100,000 to R1 million. And it was just something that I was like, there's something in there, but there's something around. This shouldn't just be at Christmas time, because people are going through the most 24/7, 365. And so at that time, I went to my leadership and took it to the Exco. David Munro was still CEO at that time. And I kind of pitched this idea to say, you know, we say we're about humanity, we say we're about doing good, but why don't we actually just put our money where our mouth is? Yeah. And for me, it's about charity starts at home. We had a whole lot of staff who had been going through most, and you hear this, you're with these people all the time.
Yeah, you hear the whispers.
You hear the whispers in the corridors, and you kind of, you know, I think you'd be tone deaf to think that everyone has it all together. And people come to work because they paid to be there, and yet they are going through the most. You know, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Yeah. And we'd heard mumblings about people kind of struggling to pay school fees and school shoes or sanitary products and those kinds of things. So I said to them, you know, give me some money. Let's not expect any ROI on it, but actually let's just do good because we're good people and it's the right thing to do. So we started with that, and we started off anonymously, so people could actually just email us or drop us a note. And I still remember my colleague Rindy, I kind of said, let's just make this Drive Hope Squad. Let's make it voluntary. People can come and help if they want to. But I remember going and doing the first couple of drops where we dropped an envelope in someone's desk, and we were like, we leopard crawled around the corner, and we were like on the floor checking to see their reaction. And it was that kind of lump in throat as they took it and they read it. And I was like, this is actually what we're meant to do.
Got goosebumps.
Yeah, and then unfortunately COVID hit and basically uprooted all of us and scuppered all our plans that we had, because we were big on, we didn't want to give money. We wanted it to be something tangible, and we had some kind of framework that we wanted to work around.
Yeah.
And then we had to go home. And so all our plans around how we thought we should be running it had to have a bit of a rethink, and we partnered with an incredible company who did vouchers for us. And that's where it started. I was all for, you know, we all do these big CSI and there's all this money, and corporate South Africa is very big on that stuff. But what about actually helping Joe Bloggs who just needs a little bit more, you know, money at the end of the month? And it's those small random acts of kindness. There was a whole campaign that went around that. I know Brent Lindicke got involved in that as well. So it was like, how do you kind of keep this going? How do we make it 24/7, 365? And it's not just a flash in the pan.
Yeah. And even I think just giving somebody the sense that they are seen and they matter, you know, whether you're getting a little envelope or you're getting 100,000 Rand, somebody has taken time to see you and to notice you and to do something positive into your life, where otherwise, you might not have had hope. You might have just felt like you were in this lonely space. And so
100%.
I think, like you say, it's not always about the money. It's more around the thought and the gesture and getting outside of yourself. That's a gift in itself. To be able to give, to be in the position to give, is actually the biggest gift, more so than the receiver.
And it's not about the big thing.
No.
It's about the things we take for granted that you and I can afford on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And, and we, all at different levels of life and different priorities. We don't know, where everyone's salary is going, or how many other mouths they have to feed, or how many, family members they've taken under their wing. So it's all those kinds of stories that, when we did it, we really touched a chord around the fact that people just needed money for school shoes this month.
Yeah.
And we were like, it's the most simplest, basic thing that we take for granted.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. That's what we started. And since 2019, we've spent just over 3 million.
Amazing.
And we've helped just over 20,000 people indirectly. So again, it was, how do we make ourselves appear bigger? And it's not about the big things.
Yeah.
How do we just keep doing stuff and have a way that it can be sustainable over time, and not just because it's once a year and I'm going to put my, my request in a hat and maybe it'll hit and maybe it won't. Because I think, there's lots of people that need a lot of help that are going through the most. And so if we can just help in a really small way, we're not here for the accolades or for the, let me stand on my soapbox and just tell you how rad we are. I think it's just, it was around me going, we needed a tangible proof point to actually say, this is who we are, this is what we do. And we do it because we love it. And the squad's incredible. The squad, this is not their day job. You would think it is for the amount of time that they invest in the stories, but they do this over and beyond. And I think for that team who don't get the accolades and they don't get reciprocity in any shape or form, they're doing it because, it's touched a nerve, it's hit a button, and they know that they're enabling a really positive change for someone else.
Thank you, Karen. I feel, honestly privileged. The work that you guys are doing, whether it's a big thing or a small thing, just know that that has a ripple effect. And that person who's, the mom who got the shoes, who went to the child, who, it's bigger than what we could ever imagine. So well done, and thank you so, so much.
It's a pleasure anytime.